Good afternoon, welcome to my EcoBUZZ. I'm Jessica Gregory, and I am so excited for this week's post because it is tree tapping time. So I hope you're ready to join me in this awesome adventure and ready to be busy for the next couple of weeks or however long this lasts. If you didn't get a chance to catch up on part 1, which was last week's post about how to identify and locate your maple trees and how many taps to put in your maple tree, check that out. That's on the My EcoBUZZ Facebook page. If you already watched it, then you are ready to go. So let me start out by showing you some of the materials that you'll need. Okay, so here is my little stash of supplies here that you're going to need for tapping a tree. The first thing I want to show you though is this spile. So this is a handy little one here that you can just get at a hardware store for a couple dollars. So it's got the little lip here where the sap will drip into your bucket, and then it's got this end which goes into the tree and a hole there on the end. You'll notice that it's on the bottom. If you remember from last week, that's because the sap flows up the tree, so as it goes up from the roots it's going to flow into the spile and out the lip into the bucket. Some spiles come with a hook that you can put in there and it'll hold the bucket right underneath the spile, but what I've done here is I just put another hole into the tree right above where I'm going to tap the tree, and I just put a little hook right there to hold my bucket. Okay, so got the hammer. You want to make sure that you've got a drill to actually drill your hole, and I don't know what size of bit this is, but if you just kind of compare it to the size of your spile, it should be a little bit smaller or close to the size of the spile so that you can get a good size hole in there. And then, of course, your bucket and your aluminum foil. Okay, so that's going to be, for me, I'm going to cover the bucket with aluminum foil to keep debris and insects out of the sap. Okay, so once you are ready with your hook or whatever you're using to get your spile into the tree, you want to make sure that you drill a hole, which I've already done here. But drill a hole into the tree about 1.5 to 2 inches deep, and then you want to drill at a slightly upward angle to make sure that you give room for the sap to flow down the spile into your bucket. Now, I've also drilled a hole so that my bucket will be hanging at about waist height on the tree, or a little bit bigger, or taller I mean, and that's partly to keep animals from getting at the bucket, because again the sap is sweet, so they're going to want to take advantage of that if they can. So once you get your hole drilled, then you take your spile, and it can sometimes take a little bit of work to get it in there, but you'll take your spile, kind of stick it into the hole, again with that slight upward angle, and use your hammer to take a few pounds at it. I hope you're enjoying that sound, because that's really what it means to tap a tree, is that sound right there. Alright, so the spile is in the tree and the bucket is up. So here's a view from back a little bit so you can get an idea of what that looks like. So again, about waist height up from the ground, and the sap is running. So there goes a drip into the bucket. It seems like a long process, drip by drip, but it really will be picking up here in the next few days as the temperatures are projected to be warmer during the day and again back below freezing at night. All right, so we've got our tree tapped. Woohoo! Hopefully you're as excited about this as I am. I can hear the sap dripping into the bucket as I'm standing here. That's pretty awesome. So now it's your turn. Go out and get your tree tapped. Collect your materials if you haven't already and get that set up. Just to be aware though, once you have everything going and you know that you've got your sap running, you are going to want to make sure that you check the bucket at least twice a day. Last year when I tapped this tree, I checked it in the morning and then also once in the afternoon or early evening, and sometimes the bucket would be full both times. So you can get a lot of sap depending on the temperature and the size of the tree, the type of maple that you have, etc. So just be aware. I will hopefully post a video later this week on kind of the process of boiling your sap down to become syrup, because it is a little bit of a process. It's mostly water coming out of the tree, so you have to get rid of that water until you get the syrup consistency that we're looking for, or maybe sugar if that's what you're going for. So stay tuned for that, but go out, have fun, and let me know how it goes. All right, thanks for joining me. We'll see you soon. Happy naturing.